Hey you guys, I'm Peter and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about, should you put up an ancestral altar? Alright, before we get started, go ahead and tap that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment if you like the content on this page, and we're gonna just jump right into this. Y'all know I gotta have my little notepad, okay? So the reason why I decided to, talk about this topic is because when I first started this journey, I had no idea how to set up an altar, let alone an ancestral altar, okay? And so I just felt like it'd be helpful information if I just put this out. Now, y'all already know how I do. I just do the one takes. I get the information out there and that's it. I'm not pulling no strings. We ain't gonna have no clickbait. I'm just gonna tell y'all the information just how I got the information. And if there's like later on down the line, like some people ask me like a whole bunch of questions, then I might do another video. But I think that we can just get to it with one shot, all right? So, what is an ancestral altar, or what is an altar? So an ancestral altar or an altar, that's your sacred space, all right? And so that's the place that you go and you talk to your deities, or you talk to your ancestors, okay? Or you talk to, whoever it is, whatever your divination is, or whether it's God or whether it's Buddha or whomever it is, all right? So that's the space that you go. That's your sacred space. That's where you say your prayers and you send all your offerings and all that stuff up, all right? And that's where you give honor to those deities, those ancestors and things of that nature, all right? And so the reason why you want to set one of those up is because you want to first honor your ancestors. Like that's the number one priority. Or you want to honor your deity, or you want to you want to honor them, and you want to, provide them with offerings so that they can in return help you. Because you got to think about it like this. They used to walk the earth just like how we walk in the earth right now. And so they pretty much know how to navigate it. All right. And then you also want to have one because, like, what if, your ancestors did not ascend and they're trapped between these worlds. All right. So, or they're trapped here on earth, or they're trapped in between the world between, earth and whatever the afterlife is, right? And so they're stuck. They're gonna need your help. They're gonna need your energy to make sure that they get to, their next level, all right? And so the ancestors, they're gonna help you out. They're gonna help you out here on earth, all right? And so when you have loved ones transition, all right, they need your help, okay? Because if you don't help them, then they're gonna, whatever world that they're in, they're gonna be stuck there until someone give them some energy, or someone give them some support, someone honors them, okay? So that's the main reason why you want to do that. Again, I already said help them ascend. And so it's like, when it comes to this, like, they tend to get trapped, like some of them. They tend to get trapped in between worlds, okay? And so when they're trapped in between worlds, it's because they're still tied to something here, right? So it's kind of like, when you get, a new car or a Lucky Charm. I know a lot of people that have Lucky Charms, right? And they don't want to go nowhere without their Lucky Charm, because if they go without their Lucky Charm, they're gonna feel unlucky. And the same thing with our ancestors. If they don't ascend, that means they're stuck and they're attached to something here, right? And so when you create your altar, you want your altar to be a direct representation of them, either your ancestors or your deity or whatever, all right? And so one thing I like to say is, like, when you setting up your altar, like, be cautious of how you set up your altar, all right? And the reason why I say be cautious is because you don't want to set up an altar, but you don't attend to the altar, all right? Because think about it like this. You set up the altar, you open this portal for them to communicate with you. You open this portal for your ancestors or these deities, and you give it no energy. What do? They're going to attach to your aura. They're going to attach to your energy. And then you're going to start noticing yourself craving the things that they craved on earth, behaving the way that they behaved on earth. And so you don't have time for that. And then things will you'll start noticing things like disrupting inside of your home, you know, because you don't open this portal, right? And you have but open the portal. Like, you open it, but you didn't have any intentions on honoring them, right? So they're gonna get a little get back. And I'm not saying that ancestors are evil. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you're doing it in a way that you are honoring your ancestors, and you know, and that you're tending to this altar. All right. Okay. So I wrote that when you create your altar, do not neglect it. Yes. Do not neglect your altar. All right. Give your ancestors food, water, you know, things that they like, right? Because I'm not saying that they're going to eat it, because you know they're not going to eat it, but you just offering it to them and you giving them that energy that they need. All right. So if you don't, again, like I said, they'll attach to you. You'll become them. You'll crave what they crave. You'll behave like they behave. All right. So you want to ensure that you're properly tending to your altar. All right. If you're properly attending to your altar, you're going there, you in your sacral space, you're praying to them, or you know, you're writing down your blessings and putting them on the altar. You're honoring them the way that they should. They are going to look out for you. All right. They're gonna give you that same energy, because remember, everything is energy, right? So they're gonna give you that same energy back. All right, so it's good to have an altar for your ancestor bloodline healing. All right, so that's the perfect time. Like when you want to have an altar, especially if you're doing a lot of healing work, you want to have that altar so you can have that sacral space to go and talk to your, you know, to go and talk to your deity or go and talk to your ancestors. But you also want to have that sacred space if you're going to do ancestral bloodline healing. All right, because you need to know what needs to be healed, right? And so you need to give your ancestors an invitation to give you the information that they need healed, right? But again, you don't want to neglect your altar. You want to make sure that every time you're addressing that altar, that you're closing that portal correctly and you closing that energy off correctly. You want to keep your altar clean. All right. It's very important for you to keep your altar clean. You want to put your altar in a place that's less traffic. Now, I wouldn't advise you putting your altar in your bedroom. And the reason why I don't advise you putting your altar in your bedroom or your bathroom, because like, you do your do in your bedroom, right? You know, you don't want your ancestors looking in on you doing your do. I mean, even though like they're not physically here, their spirits are, and it's like disrespectful, you know? Another thing, I never go to my altar dirty. So if you're dirty, like if you just had a whole night out drunk, don't go to your altar. All right. If you know, done dibble in your little, you know, herbs and stuff, like some people, that's how they function. But I don't go to my altar unclean. I don't go to my altar after, you know, me and my husband don't share that sacred space. I don't go to my altar if I haven't taken a bath. You know, like I'm talking about, I ain't talking about like you wake up in the morning, take a bath, and then don't take another one. I'm talking about, you know, I done did all this stuff, cleaning this, that, filthy, and then try to go to my altar. I don't do that. You know, I just try to make sure everything clean. So you want to put your altar in a place that's got the least amount of traffic, and you want to put your altar in a place that is considered sacred. All right. You can put your altar in the closet if you want. You know, if that's the space that you have, put your altar in the closet, but just not anywhere where you're gonna be doing something that you wouldn't do in front of your mom or your dad. All right. So that's that. Like I said, make sure you close the portal properly, because you don't want all these different energies floating through your altar. All right. So what needs to be on the altar? This was the thing that I had the most trouble with, because everybody was doing all these videos and I had to go through like 4, 5, 6 of their videos just to figure out what I need to put on my altar. Listen, guys, all you need on your altar is the 4 elements. So fire, air, water, and earth. And I'm going to show y'all a representation of each on my altar in a minute. All right, so this is the altar. And as you can see on the altar, I have all 4 elements on the altar. I have fire, which are the candles, and that represents the fire energy. I also have the incense, which represents the air element. And if you see the earth elements are the crystals, the plants, the flowers, and then actual water on the altar, because you want to give your ancestors the things that they like in their life, and that's how you give them energy. Because if you don't give them the things that they enjoy on earth, then you'll start noticing that they'll attach to your aura and you'll start craving these things. So that's why you want to keep them filled with the things that they love on earth. So as the fire representation, I have my candles, my ajna candles, my ajna awakened candles. I got those from Shock Therapy. The link is in the description. I had my other candles on there too, like my regular candles, and I use the beige candles because they just smell lovely and they're like beautiful, and like a lot of my ancestors wore pearls, you know, so like it's like creamish, like they resemble a pearl or ivory or something like that. So I was like, okay, yeah. You know, and then air, you want air on, so my representation of air on the altar was the incense. Water, you put real water, guys. I put real water. I do anything from spring water to filtered water, you know, real clean water for my ancestors, because they got to get that. I do alkaline water so that, you know, they can get that good nourishment. And then earth, so you can use plants, flowers. I use crystals, you know, and the crystals are a dual mechanism, right? So the crystals are my protection and they're also my earth, right? All right, so you do want pictures of your ancestors, right? So you want pictures of your ancestors that you're honoring, your complete and whole ancestors at that. You know, you don't want to put any unhealed ancestors on your altar. And so that's what the bloodline healing work is for, right? So you heal them before you put them on your altar. But your complete and whole ancestors, the ones that, you know, were complete and whole before they crossed over or whatever, then of course you can put them on your altar and give them energy and vibrate off of them as well. So I put their pictures on my altar. I also, if you don't have pictures, you can put names, all right, and then display the name. So like put a type of, it could be something so simple. You don't have to go out to Target and make this all great thing. You can print off a picture of them off of your internet, or you can type their names and print it off your computer and stuff and put it in a display frame and sit that thing up on there and honor it, all right? And just, you know, take it seriously, of course. I have representations of my ancestors. So my altar is a dual altar. It's an altar shared between me and my husband, right? And so I have things that represent my complete and whole ancestors on the altar. So I got like musicians, because my complete and whole ancestors, they love music. Like we played bands and all kinds of stuff. So this is something that we did growing up. I also have like the treble clef. I have a drummer. He's like metal on there. I have statues that represent how we carry the food. So that's an actual Haitian statue, but that's it is, you know, is a representation of my family as well, because we carried food the same way that they carried their food. All right. I have a lot of Haitian statues on there because, you know, of course, his lineage is Haitian. And I have a cat, and I have cat for multiple reasons, right? I have the cat for spiritual reasons. I have the cat because it's a Haitian statue. And I have the cats because my deities, they love cats. Like, love them, okay? Love cats. Like, if you went to my mom's house, you went to anybody in my family house and they had no cat, like, they love them. So I just put the cats on there, you know? So you want things that represent them. You want stuff that they like my ancestors, they love flowers, so I put flowers there. My husband's ancestors, they love flowers, so we put flowers there. Different types of flowers, red for mine, white for his, you know, just different stuff. It depends on what they like. You're not gonna just throw the same things on there for all of them, because they all different, right? I put hot sauce because his family loves spicy food, and so does mine, so we got hot sauce on there. Now usually I have my altar bell, right, or my singing bowls on the altar or near about the altar, you know, because you want to clear that energy, right? So you want to clear the energy, so you want to be able to cleanse that energy, and you also want to, you know, ring it to before you start dealing with your ancestors and all that good stuff. All right. What else did I have on my? Oh yeah, and you also use the bells to clear energy before you call upon your ancestors too. All right, so it's like you awakening them or something like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. God, we went through that really quick. All right, so again, you know, like I said, You want to honor them. You don't want to put some stuff up on there that don't represent none of your ancestors. And if you don't know, then you don't know. You just ask Spirit to help you, you know, just help you figure out the best thing to do for your ancestors and your deities, all right? Because at the end of the day, it's for you and your practices. You can call on your parents if they're still alive, or if, you know, you're doing the altar for your parents, things in that nature. But yeah. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that I answered all of your questions. I'm trying to run through my mind and see if there's anything else that I can think of, but right now I can't think of anything. So if you like the content on this page, go ahead and leave me a comment. If you agree or disagree, doesn't matter. You know, if you got some information that you want to share it, right? You can add on to this, okay? Because like I said, I'm just learning as I go, So hope you guys like the content. If you do, like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.